Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media. So in tonight's video, I want to go over my movie soundtrack and score vinyl collection. Now, I'm going to be breaking this up into parts because I've been collecting for a few months now, and the collection is definitely growing at a pretty rapid pace, especially when it comes to movie soundtracks and scores. I find them really interesting to listen to on their own, especially if I'm studying or if I'm working, anything like that where I have to focus. I find movie scores and soundtracks really relax me and put me in that perfect mood. So let's get straight to some of my favorite soundtracks and some of my favorite vinyls in my collection. So first up, we have Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive, and the soundtrack and score to Drive is just fantastic. Now this was scored by Cliff Martinez, who is one of my favorites when it comes to scoring movies. He's done other movies such as Contagion and Solaris as well, and he definitely has a more synth-driven approach, and definitely more in his recent films like Only God Forgives and Neon Demon. I feel out of all of his scores, this is by far one of his best. I think it captures the mood of the movie perfectly, and I think that the movie just would not be the same without it. This has the perfect 80s synth type beat to the soundtrack, mixed with some actual good songs by Kavinsky and some other good artists as well. Great 80s looking soundtrack if you're looking for that, and it comes on really nice looking gold colored vinyl as well. Next up, we have one of my favorite horror movies, and that is Get Out. Now not only does this come with awesome cover art, but this comes with an awesome color vinyl as well. This green colored marble looks fantastic, and the Get Out soundtrack in my eyes was one of the best scores of a few years ago. And this is the first score from Michael Abels, and I was thoroughly impressed. And after just seeing Us in theaters, which he also scored, I think he is definitely a new up-and-comer when it comes to horror scores. He adds a lot to the score. He makes it somewhat of its own character and brings back the 70s and 80s scores where it was a main part of the movie, and the second you heard it, you remembered that movie. So definitely one of my favorite vinyl in the collection. Sounds excellent, an amazing movie. Next up, we have a favorite of pretty much everybody I speak to, and that is Fight Club. Now, the packaging on this is great with the IKEA-like packaging, and the color of the vinyl is the soapy pink vinyl with little splashes of color in between. And I think this is one of the best packaged vinyls and altogether one of the best sounding vinyls. Now, the score to Fight Club is electronic throughout. The Dust Brothers did a fantastic job, and what I really like about this score is you do not need to even know Fight Club to listen to the score and enjoy it. I mean, the more you know it, the more you will enjoy it. But as a standalone, this is a really good, just electronic ambient album, and this has a lot of good fast parts, a lot of good slow parts, and a lot of good variation throughout. I actually find myself putting on this score the most in my collection. Next, we have another movie that would not be the same without the score, and that is Inception, with Hans Zimmer scoring it. Now, Hans Zimmer is clearly one of the best music composers of today, and one of the best movie composers of today, and all of his work is fantastic, but his work on Inception really stands out to me. Now, I'm sure you guys all know the work from this. This is the limited clear edition vinyl. I was very happy to get my hands on this. Although I don't find this is the best pressing compared to the others, there is a bit of surface noise on this one. I'm still very glad to own this, and I think that the soundtrack is just very epic and very good to listen to on its own as well. Next up, we have another iconic soundtrack, and that is Requiem for a Dream by Clint Mansell. Now, I feel like Requiem for a Dream would not be the same without this score, without the overture playing through summer, through spring, through winter. I feel that this is just such a chilling soundtrack and such a chilling score. It has upbeat passages like in Fight Club with the Dust Brothers, where it's electronic and upbeat towards the beginning, and then some somber passages towards the end, and then some chaos just in between. But the one thing is that I really like is the opening passage on this is just a calm, soothing piano ballad that I'm sure you guys all know is soft piano, and the way it leads this movie is just breathtaking. I have had this vinyl on my record player constantly. This is the 180 gram black edition vinyl, and I highly recommend picking this up, especially if you're a fan of the movie. And last but not least, in part one, keep in mind this is just part one, we have the Donnie Darko soundtrack. And this is the limited edition Smoky Marble vinyl from Newberry Comics. I was really happy to get my hands on this, limited to 500 copies. This soundtrack is pretty much my childhood. I've listened to this constantly. I've watched the movie so many times that when I throw on the soundtrack, I can instantly tell what scene correlates with it. This is one of the better soundtracks of the 2000s, and I think it is phenomenal. Again, this movie would not be the same without this soundtrack, and I'm super happy to get this cool variant along with it. So anyway, guys, I hope you like this record collection. I do plan to do more of these. I have a lot more movie soundtracks. I got Garden State, I got Trainspotting, I got a ton more, a lot more horror as you guys could expect. So let me know down below in the comments if you like this video. If you want me to show off more of these vinyls, I'll gladly do more B-roll of the vinyls themselves actually spinning on my player. And I'm going to be doing coverage of my player itself, which is the U-Turn Orbit Custom, which I really enjoy and I'm having a great time with. So anyway, guys, let me know down below if you like these record collecting videos. Once I get some proper shelving in here, I'm definitely going to do a full collection video, and I hope you guys look forward to it. So anyway, guys, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.